The Canada Emergency Response Benefit provides temporary income support to workers who have stopped working because of COVID-19. You can visit the video in the description to learn more about the CERB. In this video, we'll look at the types of fraud related to CERB and how they are caught, and also discuss the potential law that's coming into place and the current conflicts with it. Before we get started, please make sure to like, subscribe, and click on the post notifications to get instant updates on the videos I post. The first type of fraud we'll look at is stolen identities. The detail of the process, according to the police, is they have been getting numerous complaints on CERB applications that have been filled out with stolen identity information. Ottawa police said that the fraudsters were using the stolen information to access online Canada Revenue Agency accounts of their victims and then applying for the CERB program. The fraudsters then direct deposit information in the CRA account to a bank account they have opened in the name of the victim. The fraud squad is asking Ottawa citizens to log into their CRA accounts to ensure that all of the information is accurate and also ensure that they have secured passwords for their accounts and are using passwords that are not used in any other accounts. Currently, the way it's caught is through people's complaints. So police advise that you access your CRA accounts and see if the information has changed. You are unable to access your accounts because of the password has changed. If in these cases, then contact the CRA immediately. The police also advise getting a credit check with the agency's Equifax and TransUnion. If you discover your direct deposit information was changed, you should also contact the bank where the account was opened in your name and tell the bank that you did not open the account. If you find that CERB check was issued in your name that you did not apply for, you should report that to the police immediately. The second type of fraud is phishing. The detail of the process is based on social engineering concept. So taxpayers should be vigilant when they receive, either by telephone, mail, text message, or email, a fraudulent communication that claims to be from Canada Revenue Agency, requesting personal information such as a social insurance number, credit card number, bank account number, or passport number. These scams may insist that the personal information is needed so that the taxpayer can receive a refund or benefit payment. Cases of fraud communication could also involve threats or cursive language to scare the individual into paying fictitious debt to the CRA. Other communications urge taxpayers to visit a fake CRA website where the taxpayer is asked to verify their identity by entering personal information. These are scams, and taxpayers should never respond to these fraudulent communications or click on any of the links provided. The way you can catch these frauds easily: CRA will never ask for information about your passport, health card, or driver's license. They will never demand immediate payment by e-transfer, Bitcoin, prepaid credit cards, or gift cards from retailers such as iTunes, Amazon, or others. They will never use aggressive language or threaten you with arrest or sending the police. They will never leave voicemails that are threatening or give personal information or financial information. CRA will never give or ask personal financial information by email or ask you to click on a link to enter the financial information in their website. They'll never send you a link to a refund to your email. CRA will never set up a meeting with you in a public place to take a payment. CRA will never use text messages or instant messaging such as Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp to communicate with taxpayers under any circumstances. If a taxpayer receives text or instant message claiming to be from CRA, they are scams, just delete them. The third type of fraud is service scams. The details of this process is basically the service scams include companies offering to assist with government applications, including application to receive CERB and then invoicing for these services. Some companies may suggest that the fee covers taxable portion of the income. Additionally, many of these companies may seem associated to the government, but they're not. If any company is calling you and offering you service to fill out your CERB applications for an amount, please don't. It's a scam. Now let's look at the new law that was introduced to get rid of the frauds. The CERB program was rolled out without any checks or balances. People can apply for benefit and automatically get it without any verifications being done to confirm that they have met the criteria. Critics of the government have argued this approach makes it too easy for fraudsters to take advantage of the program, even as the government has warned anyone doing so will face consequences. The spokesperson for National Revenue Minister said on June 10 that CRA is reviewing a total of 1,300 tips received about possible abuse of the benefits through its LEADS program, also sometimes referred to as tax agency's snitch line. That's up from 600 tips received from June 1st. On June 8th, the CRA updated its LEADS program online to allow Canadians who suspect CERB frauds to report it to the government. The CRA is looking for intel on any possible misuses of Canada Emergency Student Benefit and the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy programs. The legislation states that the penalty for fraudulently claiming the benefit would be either a fine up to $5,000 along with up to double the amount of the benefit that was fraudulently received, or a fine up to $5,000 and up to 6 months in jail. Claimants would also face a penalty if they fail to return to work when it's reasonable to do so, and the employer makes a request for their return, fail to resume self-employment when it's reasonable to do so, or decline a reasonable job offer when they're able to work. That penalty for claiming benefit while refusing to work would be up to triple the amount improperly claimed once the individual was able to return to work. But while the minority Liberals need the support of only one party to pass the legislation, they need unanimous consent from all parties to achieve the first step of actually being able to debate the bill in the House of Commons on the accelerated timeline of being used for pandemic-related bills. There are concerns from the opposition. Normally, bills can take months of study and debate, but by getting unanimous consent for a much quicker time frame, usually several hours of debate, legislation can be passed through the House of Commons in a single day. However, all three main opposition parties have laid out major concerns or conditions for their support that the government appears unlikely to yield at this point. The NDP has expressed fears that the penalties could force vulnerable workers back into unsafe conditions, while Conservatives want a full resumption of House of Commons business. The Bloc Québécois want a fiscal update, a First Minister's meeting on healthcare before September, and for the government to ban political parties from using the wage subsidy program. The bill is now frozen at the first reading, and the House of Commons isn't scheduled to meet just until yesterday.